Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naistike Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 25, The Glories of Devotional Service. So yesterday we have seen the classical shlokas, that how the devotees, they take darshan of the Supreme Lord, how they sakam vacham spurhaniyam vadanti, and what is the effect of that on the devotees. Text 36. Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. Purport.
There are three divisions of devotees: first class, second class, and third class. Even the third class devotees are liberated souls. It is explained in this verse that although they do not have knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, the devotee is absorbed in thought of him and loses all other consciousness. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Simply by discharging uncontaminated devotional service as prescribed in the scriptures, one becomes equal to Brahman. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. This means that the living entity in his original state is Brahman because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Brahman. But simply because of his forgetfulness of his real nature as an eternal servitor of the Lord, he is overwhelmed and captured by Maya. His forgetfulness of his real constitutional position is Maya. Otherwise, he is eternally Brahman. When one is trained to become conscious of his position, he understands that he is the servitor of the Lord. Brahman refers to a state of self realization. Even the third class devotee who is not advanced in knowledge of the absolute truth but simply offers obeisances with great devotion, thinks of the Lord, sees the Lord in the temple, and brings forth flowers and fruits to offer to the deity, becomes imperceptibly liberated. Shraddhayan Vitaha, with great devotion, and the devotees offer worshipful respects and paraphernalia to the deity. The deities of Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Narayana, and Ram and Sita are very attractive to devotees. So much so that when they see the statue decorated in the temple of the Lord, they become fully absorbed in thought of the Lord. That is the state of liberation. In other words, it is confirmed herewith that even a third class devotee is in the transcendental position, above those who are trying for liberation by speculation or by other methods. Even great impersonalists like Sukadeva Goswami and the four Kumaras were attracted by the beauty of the deities in the temple, by the decorations, and by the aroma of Tulsi offered to the Lord, and they became devotees. Even though they were in the liberated state, instead of remaining impersonalist, they were attracted by the beauty of the Lord and became devotees. Here, the word vilasa is very important. Vilasa refers to the activities or pastimes of the Lord. It is prescribed duty in temple worship that not only should one visit the temple to see the deity nicely decorated, but at the same time he should hear the recitations of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or similar other literature, which is regularly recited in the temple. It is the system in Vrindavan that in every temple there is recitation of Shastras. Even third class devotees who have never literally knowledge or no time to read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita get the opportunity to hear about pastimes of the Lord. In this way, their minds may remain always absorbed in the thought of the Lord, His form, His activities, and His transcendental nature. This state of Krishna consciousness is a liberated state. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommended 5 important processes in the discharge of devotional service. Number 1, to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Number 2, to associate with devotees and serve them as far as possible. Number 3, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Number 4, to see the decorated temple and the deity, and if possible, number 5, to live in a place like Vrindavan or Mathura. These 5 items alone can help a devotee achieve the highest perfectional stage. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita and here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that third class devotees can also imperceptibly achieve liberation is accepted in all Vedic literatures. Hare Krishna.
So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains there are 3 classes of devotees. So which are these 3 classes of devotees? There is a Uttamadhikari, there is a Madhyamadhikari, and there is Kanishtadhikari. So Uttamadhikari is called as a first class devotee, Madhyamadhikari is called as second class devotee, and Kanishtadhikari is called as third class devotee. So class 3 devotee. Of course, when you say class 3 and third class, there is there is a difference in connotation. But Srila Prabhupada writes about even the third class devotees are liberated souls, right? So, and now entire paragraph Srila Prabhupada is writing about the third class devotees, means typically, the devotees like all of us who are in the process of becoming devotees, and how by the practice of devotional service, to the degree we are absorbed in devotional service, then one is actually liberated from material contamination. Srila Prabhupada says, although such devotees do not have much specific knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, devotee is absorbed in the thought of the deity and loses all other consciousness. Simply by becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness, one is imperceptibly liberated. So what is liberation? So the fun thing is Atma, Jiva, we have already seen that Jiva is the Paraprakriti, and Paraprakriti, Jiva is always liberated. Mind this word. Jiva is never contaminated. But Jiva thinks that he is contaminated. And therefore, because of Krishna Bhuliya Jiva, he desires so many things. Bhogavancha kare, Nikatastha Maya. Maya has captured the Jiva. And because the Jiva is very tightly captured by Maya, he is going through the process of transmigration, accepting one body after another, this happiness, that misery, and is completely overwhelmed. It is like somebody in the sleep, the child is sleeping, the very good child, very good parentage, and he is sleeping, but in the sleep, in the dream, he is thinking that he has become a beggar. Sometimes he's thinking that he has fallen in the gutter. Sometimes he's thinking that he's being chased by a tiger, and he is doing different tantrums. Experience is real. Mind this. Experience is real. Effect of the experience is also real, but the whole thing is illusory. Right? Is the child suffering? Yes, child is suffering in the dream. But is that a reality? No, the child is thinking he is suffering because he is sleeping. Similarly, the Atman, the Jiva, because he is sleeping towards his Krishna consciousness, to his bright what he is actually. He's part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Mamaivamsho jiva loke. Therefore, he thinks he is suffering, and that's why he is suffering. Right? He is being illusioned like this. But as soon as he removes his consciousness and fixes that consciousness on something absolute, then he becomes liberated momentarily. And to the degree we remained on that absorbed platform, we remain on a liberated platform. And Prabhupada says this is true even for a third class devotee. Prabhupada says the jiva is original state is Brahman, and the jiva is eternally Brahman. So this eternally Brahman jiva, what happens is that when he is trained to become the conscious of his position, that is the Swarupa of the living entity. The eternal Swarupa, Jivera Swarupa hai Kṛṣṇa Nityadas. So one is made conscious of this position, and then when one starts acting in this position of one's eternal identity, then one becomes liberated. So what is liberation? Liberation means, that is how liberation is defined. Muktir hitvanyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. That is liberation. Muktir hitva, what is liberation? Mukti means muktir hitvanyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. When one is situated in one's swarupa, acting in one's swarupa. And what is the swarupa? Jivera swarupa hai Kṛṣṇa Nityadas. Then one is actually in a liberated position. So, because although such a devotee who is on the lowest rungs of devotional service is, the Kanishta Adhikari, although he may not have great knowledge, but because he is acting in the Swarupa position, he is in the position of liberation. So when he visits the temple, offers obeisances to the Lord, thinks of the Lord, or brings some flowers and fruits, a devotee becomes imperceptibly liberated, even though unwillingly. So that was the verse is. Verse says that anichchato me gatiman viprayunkte, that even unwillingly such a devotee is on the liberated platform. And now we can get this idea that how, that Bilomangal Thakur says that Mukti is standing with folded hands. Please accept me, but I am completely absorbed in your devotional service. Further, Srila Prabhupada explains that not only such a devotee, but already those who are liberated position, they are also attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to his devotional service. And there is a very, very famous verse in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Atmaram verse. Atmaramascha munayo. Who are these Atmaram? Atmaram means those who are already self-satisfied. Who are the examples? The examples are Shukadeva Goswami. He remained in the mother's womb for 16 years. The Lord said, he was never prepared to come out because he was thinking that he will be captured by Maya. And as soon as he came out, and then he simply straight walked to the forest. If you remember the first verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, that Vyasa is calling out, hey, Shuka, Tarabo Bhinedus, that only the trees could understand the separation of Vedavyas from his son Shukadeva Goswami. Such a liberated personality, right? Shuka Sarike, Purna Vairagya Jache. So, he's the benchmark of liberation. Then there are Chatush Kumar, the Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar. These are the Chatush. So these are the liberated personalities. Atma Ramascha Munayo, Nirgrantha, Api Urukrame. But even they, Kurvanti Ahaitukim Bhakti, Ityam Bhuta Guno Harihi. That the Guna Harihi, Hari Gun, the qualities of the Supreme Lord and the qualities of devotional service are so great that even such liberated personalities, such Atmaramas, they are helplessly attracted towards the Supreme Lord. Kurvanti ahaituki bhakti. In the return, they are not going to get anything. They are not going to pay some salary for something like that. But simply the attraction of the Supreme Lord is so great that they will be helplessly doing devotional service. So Prabhupada says here, what to speak of the devotees? Even those devotees here in the entire discussion is the Kanishta Adhikari. Even those on the liberated state, they were attracted by the beauty of the Lord and became devotees. Further, there is a word vilasa is used. Vilasa means activities of the Lord or pastimes of the Lord. Radha Damodar Vilas. So Vilas means, it has been, Vilasa means, the Vilasi Jivan of the Lord. Okay. So that is the Vilasa of the Lord. That is the pastimes of the Lord. And to see that pastimes of the Lord, one should visit the temple. And where are the pastimes of the Lord? They are recorded. They are recorded in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. They are recorded in Bhagavad Gita, Vilasa. We have the Aishwarya Yoga of the Lord. He is expanding his Vishwarupa, Virat Rupa, he's expanding. So when we hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, when we hear Bhagavad Gita, then what happens is that one is automatically acquainted with the pastimes of the Lord. And thus, Prabhupada says, even the third class devotee who has no literary knowledge or no time to read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam get the opportunity to hear about the pastimes of the Lord. In this way, their minds remain always absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. Right? And that's why Prabhupada always talked about, hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It is very, very important. What we do is very important thing, that we are beginning the day with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, beginning the day with chanting the holy names of the Lord. So this state of Krishna consciousness is called as liberated state. Mahaprabhu, he recommended the Pancha Sadhan, the 5 processes, that, chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then second is associate with the devotees and serve them as far as possible. This is Vaishnava Seva. Third is hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Katha. Fourth is to see the Lord in the temple. And fifth is go to the place where the Lord is being worshipped. Visiting the temple is also called as going to Vrindavan, because that is also Hari Kshetra. Right. So when one performs these 5 items of devotional service has 64 items, but these Pancha Mahasadhan, these are called as Mahasadhan, the 5 most important items of devotional service, they will achieve the highest perfectional stage. And this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita and confirmed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And who are they who will achieve? Even a third class devotee, right, also can imperceptibly achieve the liberation as it is accepted in all the Vedic literatures. Aho batsva pachoto ghariya yad jivvagre vartate namatubhyam. So many scriptures, they are describing about, following this process of devotional service and attaining the highest benefit that is being achievable by devotional service. No previous qualification required. Simply being available to the message and applying the message, that itself is the qualification. Text 37. Just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry. So we come to text 37. Atho vibhutim mama maya vinastam aishwaryamashtam ashta angam anupravrittam shriyam bhagavatim va aspruhayanti bhadram parasyamete ashvanute tuloke. Translation?
Translation. Thus, because he is completely absorbed in thought of me, the devotee does not desire even the highest benediction obtainable in the upper planetary systems, including Satyaloka. He does not desire the 8 material perfections obtained from mystic yoga, nor does he desire to be elevated to the kingdom of God. Yet, even without desiring them, the devotee enjoys, even in this life, all the offered benedictions. Purport. The vibhuti or opulences offered by Maya are of many varieties. We have experience of different varieties of material enjoyment even on this planet, but if one is able to promote himself to higher planets like Chandraloka, the sun, or still higher, Maharaloka, Janaloka, and Tapaloka, or even ultimately the highest planet, which is inhabited by Brahma and is called Satyaloka, there are immense possibilities for material enjoyment. For example, the duration of life on higher planets is far, far greater than on this planet. It is said that on the moon, the duration of life is such that our 6 months are equal to 1 day. We cannot even imagine the duration of life on the highest planet. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that Brahma's 12 hours are inconceivable even to our even to our mathematicians. These are all descriptions of the external energy of the Lord or Maya. Besides these, there are other opulences which the yogis can achieve by their mystic power. They are also material. A devotee does not aspire for all these material pleasures, although they are available to him simply by wishing. By the grace of the Lord, a devotee can achieve wonderful success simply by willing, but a real devotee does not like that. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught that one should not desire material opulence or material reputation, nor should one try to enjoy material beauty. One should simply aspire to be absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord, even if one does not get liberation, but has to continue the process of birth and death ultimately. Actually, however, to one who engages in Krishna consciousness, liberation is already guaranteed. Devotees enjoy all the benefits of the higher planets and the Vaikuntha planet also. It is mentioned here, Bhagavatam Bhadram. In the Vaikuntha planets, everything is eternally peaceful, yet a pure devotee does not even aspire to be promoted there. But still, he gets that advantage. He enjoys all the facilities of the material and spiritual worlds even during the present lifespan. Hare Krishna.
Aho vibhutim mama maya vinasta. Because he is completely absorbed in the thoughts of me, the Supreme Lord, Mad Chitta, Madgata Prana, right? The Chitta of the devotee is in the Supreme Lord, Madgata Prana. What happens? The devotee does not desire even the highest benediction obtainable in the material world. So there are various benedictions which are there in the material world, including even up to Satyaloka. He does not desire the Ashtasiddhi, the mystic yoga, or even elevation to Vaikuntha. Yet, even without desiring them, the devotee enjoys, even in this life, all the offered benedictions. So he does not desire, but still he will be given the facility to have all these benedictions in one's life. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, there are various vibhutis or the opulences offered by Maya in great variety. You know that when you have 100 rupee note, you can enjoy to certain extent. When you have 1000 rupee note, you can enjoy to certain extent. If you have 10,000 rupees, you can enjoy certain extent. Variety of enjoyment. But all this enjoyment, what we are talking about, is only limited to the Bhuma Loka. That is the earthly planet. There are different gradations of enjoyment. Srila Prabhupada gives example here. For example, the time span. See, although one may be enjoying in the Bhaumaloka here on the Earth planet, but still one is very harshly bound by the time, right? By the time one struggles, gets a job, had some reasonably relaxed life, 10-15 years from 45 to 60, one is, the body starts deteriorating, and the whole thing just becomes a great burden on the body. But in the higher planetary systems, the time span is literally infinite for all practical sense. Of course, nothing is infinite. But they will live for thousands and thousands of years. Prabhupada says, just like in Brahmaloka, one can, where 1 day is equal to 6 months on the earthly planet, and equally is the 1 night. So the quantum of enjoyment is much higher. What to speak on the Satya Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. What to speak of the lifespan of Brahmaji, and what to speak of the enjoyment that they enjoy. Right. Here in the, at least on our position, we can see a different levels of enjoyment. At least there is a pig who is enjoying in the gutter. Then there is, the cow who is grazing and enjoying, and there are, there is a human being who is enjoying on even on the finer sense. So we can see the gradations of enjoyment that we can see here. Similarly, beyond our imagination, there is enjoyment. And when we read some indications of those enjoyment, people say, no, it is all mythology. Because I cannot do, nobody can do. No, sir. Because you cannot do doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There is life on the moon planet, there is a life on the sun planet, there is life on all other planets, and there is a heavy enjoyment in such a enjoyment. Devotee does not aspire for all these material opulences, right? And this is the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishvare, bhavatat bhaktir ahaitukittvai. My dear Lord, let me simply aspire to be absorbed in devotional service without hankering for material enjoyment. Devotee is so absorbed in devotional service that he hardly bothers about whether he is liberated or not. Mama janmani janmanishvare. Prabhupada writes there, that means devotee is not asking even to stop the process of birth and death unlimitedly. The samsara chakra, devotee is not worried about that. But actually, for such a devotee, liberation is guaranteed. Devotee will not aspire even for the Vaikuntha Loka. He will only aspire for devotional service. What is better? Somebody goes to Vaikuntha and there is no seva there, and somebody is going to the hellish planet, but there is full of seva. What the devotee will aspire? Devotee will aspire for the life filled with devotional service. This is very important, right? And that's why we have seen this verse yesterday. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana vibhyati swarga apavarga narakeshu. Apavarga there is Vaikuntha. Swarga apavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshanam. So this is the mood of the devotee. But although this is the mood, the Lord bestows all the benedictions upon such a devotee, right? And this is the very special, mercy of the Supreme Lord on the devotee. Text 38. न करह चिन्मत् पराशांत रूपे नांक्षन्ति नो मे निमिषो लेढिहेति येषामहं प्रियमात्मा सुतश्च सखा गुरु सहृदयो दैवमिष्टम्.
The Lord continued, My dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them. Neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulences. Because the devotees accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, preceptor, benefactor, and the supreme deity, they cannot be deprived of their possessions at any time. Purport. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that one may elevate himself to the higher planetary systems, even up to Brahmaloka, by dint of pious activities. But when the effects of such pious activities are finished, one again comes back to this earth to begin a new life of activities. Thus, even though one is promoted to the higher planetary system for enjoyment and long duration of life, still that is not a permanent settlement. But as far as the devotees are concerned, their assets, the achievement of devotional service and consequent opulence of Vaikuntha, even on this planet, are never destroyed. In this verse, Kapiladeva addresses his mother as Shantarupa, indicating that the opulences of devotees are fixed because devotees are eternally fixed in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, which is called Shantarupa because it is in the mode of pure goodness, undisturbed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Once one is fixed in the devotional service of the Lord, his position of the transcendental service cannot be destroyed, and the pleasure and the service simply increases unlimitedly. For the devotees engaged in the Krishna consciousness in the Vaikuntha
So this is
atmosphere,
a very big purport. What we will do, we will discuss still here, and from tomorrow we will pick up from the for the devotees. Okay.
Yeah.
So now here, Kapila Muni says, "Na karhichit mat para shantarupe." Shantarupe, oh my mother, oh Shantarupe. The Lord continued, "Oh my mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulence are never bereft of them." So, which is the primary opulence a devotee is receiving? the devotee is receiving the primary opulence of devotional service, which he will not trade for anything in this material. Later we will see even the same thing in the Vritrasur's prayers. Na nakaprishtam, na cha parameshtam, na sarvabhaumam. So he says, no Krishna, I don't want. Na nakaprishtam, na svargaloka, nothing I want. I simply want you. So neither the weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulence. They are never deprived of these possessions at any point of time. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that there are many material opulences in this life and in the next life. Many times people are attached to performing punya. Why? Because they understand the futility of enjoying on this planet. Just like, sometimes you may see some engineering students. Some people are preparing very hard for their final year exam, but there are some students who will be additionally preparing some 2000 words from Baron's Guide, or, and they will be preparing for a higher life, better life. They want to do MS, they want to do GRE and settle abroad, something like that. Right? So sometimes a living entity is fed up with the enjoyment in this life and he performs a lot of punya so that he can be elevated to the Swargaloka. But is the position in the Swargaloka permanent? No. Tetvam bhuktva Swargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. Swargaloka is like, you have a full debit card. Your bank is filled and you are just going to some European country and swiping left and right. And when the balance is over, you will be kicked out of the country. Tetvam bhuktva Swargalokam vishalam kshine punye. With every enjoyment in the Swargaloka, the currency there is punya. Kshine punya, the punya is becoming kshina, it is diminishing. And then again they have to come back to the earthly planet. So there is no permanent settlement in Swargaloka. But as far as the devotees are concerned, their assets, what is their asset? The achievement of devotional service and consequently the opulence of Vaikuntha. This is the asset of a devotee. So what is our asset? The greatest asset of a devotee is the performance of devotional service, right? The chanting that we are doing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And, so these assets are never destroyed. Here Prabhupada says, Kapila Muni is addressing Mother as Shantarupe, because Shantarupa means there is a mode of goodness, undisturbed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Once one is fixed in the devotional service of the Lord, his position in devotional service cannot be destroyed, and the pleasure and service simply increase unlimitedly. Anandam, Vardhanam, Pratipadam, Purnam, Rataswadanam. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes.
Prabhu, you were quoting some shloka with Nainam ya Nanam. Sorry, I didn't hear that shloka. I want to understand.
Which
Just
one?
before, you were quoting one shloka, Kshine Punya Martalokam Vishanti. Before that, something with the Yan. Nainam ya Na, something with the Na.
Oh, these are very celebrated prayers of Vritrasur.
Okay.
Vritrasur Chatushloki. There are 4 amazing prayers of Vritrasur. Later we'll come to those prayers. So that shloka is where he is also rejecting everything material. Na nakaprashtam, na param, na chaparameshtyam, na sarvabhaumam, na rasadhipatyam, na yoga siddhir, apunarbhavam va, samanjasatvam virahiya kangshe. He says that, my dear Lord, I have too much viraha from you. Now, please don't delude me by, nakaprishtam, na parameshtyam. So, like Brahmaloka, lower planetary systems, or, so no other position I want. I'm simply interested in performing your devotional service. So this is prayers of Vritrasur.
There are 4 shlokas, Prabhu. There are Chatushloki, Vritrasura Chatushloki.
So of course, Vritrasur offers many prayers, but these shlokas are considered as, like the topmost shlokas in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam till Gopi Gitam. Okay. So if you just go to Vritrasur's prayers, and there is transcendental qualities of Vritrasur, 6.11.23. So this is the text.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Devana.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhupada.